Today, I'm going to be talking through some common mistakes that you may be making on your landing pages or sales pages. I'm going to walk you through a demo that I built on Squarespace with some of these mistakes already made in them, and then I'm going to walk through how to fix them. So hopefully I can help you turn some of your visitors into customers. So looking at this page, we can see it's for an independent career life coach. The goal here is to try and get new inquiries into a booking form, something like a Calendly or another service that they may be using. And the target is young professionals that are feeling stuck or burnt out. It's very important that if you're starting from scratch, you do define your goal and target before you get started, since everything is going to revolve around that. But as you can see, this is looking more like a home page than a landing page. So on to mistake number one, having too many CTAs. I'm going to go through here and clean this up and remove the Learn More button. You don't want a lot of clutter. You don't want a lot of distraction on the landing page. So one of the things that I also like doing is removing the main navigation just to remove some of those distractions from the visitors. And that's going to lead us to mistake number two. So having an unclear value proposition. You want to remove generic messages like welcome to my page or anything like that. And you want to replace it with a headline that provides a little bit more value. You want to make sure that the call to action is clear so that they know what they're getting when they click on that link, what they should expect. This hero section should have the most focus. This is the most important part of the page because as soon as they land here, they need to know exactly what this is so that they can decide if they want to stay and explore more or if they're going to click on your call to action. So you really want to build trust here. You want to make sure that you remove any images that may be too abstract or don't really tie in with what the message is. So I like using images that actually include people, since that builds a little more trust with people when they actually see faces. And emphasize any impactful words that may relate to the message. So mistake three, having unrelated content on the page. You want to make sure that the flow of content is informing them, but you also want to make sure that there isn't anything that's unrelated to what that main goal is or that isn't relevant to the target audience that's visiting here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the blog, since that's not really tied to anything about the booking a free consultation. And there may be articles included there that don't relate to the main goal at all. So I'm going to reorder some sections and simplify the amount of content here and rework some of this content so it's a little bit easier to digest at a glance. I want to make sure that the process is very clear to the visitors also. So something that's really important is you want to make sure that you're giving them enough context so that they know what happens after they click that call to action. They shouldn't have to guess what's going to happen when they click your CTA. So mistake number four is weak social proof. So testimonials are very good trust builders, but you want to make sure that they're strong testimonials that have some substance. So some of these short forward testimonials like service was great or something like that, they're not really helpful and they're not really providing that much value. You want to have a couple of short sentences at least so that you're giving them a little bit more substance. And sometimes that's a little bit more difficult to get, but if you can just focus on building a few good testimonials and reach out to your users to give you a couple sentences and hopefully provide an image, that would work a lot harder for you than just having a few words of text. The images help build trust, and having 3 good complete testimonials will beat 10 generic testimonials that just have something like service was great or something along those lines. And if you can get something worked into the hero image, that's going to help also, because that's going to get them to start trusting you more at that first glance in the hero image. So if you have a testimonial, or maybe there's some Google reviews, Google review badge that you could put in there, that will help people trust your brand more. Mistake number 5 is poor readability. You've already seen it applied in some of the areas here, like the hero and the how it works section. But you really want to avoid these really long lines of text that span across the layout. You want to keep the characters to under 80 if you can on one line. That just helps with the readability of the text, and it also helps with accessibility. And if you can trim down the copy length, that's always going to be better also, because people are just scanning these pages. They're not really reading. And in the last section, I like putting another CTA just to try and get them to take action at the very last step here, once they've scrolled to the bottom of the page, so that we're making it very clear here what the next step is that we want them to take. Mistake number 6 is poor mobile optimization. So the Squarespace Fluid Engine is really good at organizing elements in both views, but it's pretty unpredictable when it comes to reflowing your sections from desktop to mobile. So you want to go through and make sure all your text is readable. You want to make sure that all your images are sized properly. Make sure that buttons are large enough, since people are going to be on smaller screens here. And you want to make sure that the order in each section is correct, since sometimes that gets thrown out of order. Make sure that all your section containers are sized correctly. And if you're linking from social posts, this is even more important, since people would be coming from their mobile devices. So you really want to make sure that you put a lot of attention on mobile, and make sure that it looks just as good on a phone than it does on desktop. So just to go over what we did, we simplified everything by just cutting down the number of CTAs. We removed the navigation to try and focus everything on this one single call to action. We made copy updates that were more aligned with the target audience and the goal. We removed clutter, and we strengthened the social proof with better testimonials. We improved the readability, made mobile optimizations, and made sure that the messaging and the imagery, everything was aligned. Well, hopefully that provided some value and you got something out of it. I know there's a lot more related to landing pages when it comes to mistakes and issues that could be stopping conversions, but I just wanted to create something quick that could help you get started on creating your landing pages, or improving some that you may already have. So hopefully you got some from this, and I just want to say thanks for watching, and hopefully I see you again soon. Thanks.